I love stories of people who are leaving big companies or big corporations to start something of their own, creating some amazing stuff. And I have such example here with me in my virtual studio. Ladies and gentlemen, please say welcome to Nate, the developer responsible for the upcoming and amazing looking game called The Axis Unseen. Hi Nate, how are you?
Good, thanks for having me.
I'm super excited to speak with you about your project because you are a guy who was working on some big AAA titles, but now you're just one-man army working on your dream project. And I'm just curious, what's the easiest and what's the hardest in being your own boss?
So the easiest part for sure is deciding what to do and approvals, because it's like, oh, can we do it? Yes, we can. I can just like look in the mirror, go for it. Whereas, you know, in big developments, that can sometimes take months and all sorts of layers of approval and meeting after meeting and vision statements and what have you. So that part is really nice.
You don't have to go to your boss. You're just speaking to yourself in the mirror. So yeah, that sounds good. But what are the cons of the situation?
So the con then is that there's no like support structure. It's really just me making the game. So sometimes when you're making a game by yourself, you're like, oh, this is great. I can just do whatever and all these things and like, I'm a genius. But then there's the flip side where sometimes you run across these problems, especially because my background is in art and not really coding. I coded like 20 years ago or whatever. It's like, that's been a while. So you occasionally run into these roadblocks and you're like, uh-oh, am I screwed? Am I going to have to hire a coder? Like, maybe this was a bad idea. But then, you know, so far at least, I figured it out and it's like, yes, can keep going forward, get past the roadblocks. But it is terrifying when you have those moments.
Okay, so generally, I understand that you like the position you are right now.
Yeah, I love it. I really like doing lots of different things. And even though I was in art primarily, I always thought of myself as like a game developer, not just an artist. So I was always like budging my way into like the design meetings and messing with tools. So I like having that flexibility to just do a bunch of different things. The Axis Unseen is a heavy metal horror game where you hunt monsters from folklore. And it's closer to like a hunting simulator as opposed to like when people hear monster hunting, they think Monster Hunter the game, but that's a lot more of like an action game. This is closer to something like the Hunter Call of the Wild where you're like looking at tracks and wind direction matters. But in those games, if like a deer smells you or hears you, they'll just run off. But in this case, it's a monster that will just come and run and like try and eat your face. The Axis Unseen launches next year sometime.